Hey, good morning and welcome back. I know just a few minutes ago we went live, but I deleted that video. And how come? Well, because Facebook Live does not allow us to do that and screen sharing at the exact same time. So jumped on and found a software that does it called StreamYard. And here we are back live again. So welcome. This is Sean Fullerton with NSN Management. And today I'm going to be talking about KPIs and dashboards. And you can see kind of right here is a dashboard. And let me talk real quickly about what a dashboard is. And I'm going to be switching back and forth so I can talk to you and also demo some stuff. But KPIs are what we call key performance indicators. And dashboards are ways to visualize those KPIs. So what this really is what we call business intelligence. And we're looking for how do we visualize the data in our business that helps us do what we need to do in our business and to make accurate decisions. One of the most common mistakes in most businesses is we make decisions based on assumptions without actual data and evidence to back that data up. Make those decisions appropriately. And one of the problems that we see with that is a lot of businesses will just go, they look at some number and they think, okay, this is what I need to do. And they really don't have any evidence really to back that decision up. So KPIs are a way for business owners and department managers and other things to look at different kinds of data and be able to make appropriate decisions on them. Well, at NSN, we regularly use KPIs to manage our business, and we do them for a variety of different ways. There are financial metrics or KPIs that we use. There are statistical data that we use, number of tickets we get in a day, ticket types. If we see a lot of tickets that have to do with printers, we're starting to ask questions and act differently accordingly. Or is it a super busy day with tickets, or is it a very quiet day with tickets? And we kind of try to manage our business that way. Retail sales may do theirs completely different, and looking at their traffic. Heck, even when they're picking a location where to put a retail store, evaluating data and be able to figure out where should they put that based off of traffic patterns, time of day. If you're a breakfast coffee shop, I don't recommend putting your coffee shop on some location that the busiest time of the day is 5 o'clock in the evening, because that's probably not time people are looking for coffee. You want to find a location people are busy in the morning. The traffic's the highest. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over to another screen here and kind of show you some of that. And you can see here is a dashboard. This one is an executive summary sales report. In this case, I'm using a tool called Power BI Desktop by Microsoft. Makes visualizing data pretty easy, and I wanted to be able to show that. So you can see here we've got information. It's the bikes shop. In the bikes area, I can see that they have a specialty bike shop, sells stuff. The value-added reseller also sells, and from the warehouse they sell quite a bit. So we can see this information visually, see what our sales amounts are, look at data. Here's fiscal year 2021. Man, it looks like we haven't done anything in 21. I think we need to get this business going. What about 2020? Hey, we did great in 2020, $28 million versus 2019, we did $22 million. And we can see we did most of our business here in North America. We look at that in the United States, and we see that we had 19,613 orders in the United States. We can go over here and take a look at data in France, and it looks like in France, we had 4,348 orders. And then let's go take a look at the United Kingdom, 4,058, I think was the number I saw. So we can see this data and figure out, we want to grow. We do a good business in the United States. We want to see if we can grow our business over in Europe. And in this case, maybe I have better traction in France. And so that's really when we want to focus our efforts. Or I could decide, I want to do it in the UK, whichever is going to be better for us as a business and what markets we want to grow. And then we can take actionable efforts based off of what we see going on. So this is just one example of a dashboard. I'm going to flip over and I'm going to show you another one. Here's another one, again, using Power BI Desktop. I'm going to also show you one of our desktops that we use inside of our one of our tools. This business in particular is heavy reseller focused. So they did $20.93 million in sales in the United States. And they can see their number one reseller was Westside Plaza in Sand City, California, who did $534,000 in sales for them. And when I click on that, you can see how information changes. And I can see what quarters they did most of their business. It looks like Q1 and Q2 were exactly the same. And they did a good business there. But then sales dropped off in Q3 and then picked up again in Q4. Now, what this gives us the ability to look at is decide, we can look at this data and go, oh, well, what is it about that data? Why did sales drop off in Q3 for this particular business? And start to ask questions instead of just going, I think sales were really weak in Q2. Well, actually, Q2 was actually same as Q1, so it wasn't too bad. Something happened in Q3. And instead of doing off of feelings, we can actually visualize our data. It's much easier, I think, to visualize numbers and stuff than just to see a raw set of numbers there. So what I'm going to flip over now too is I'm going to actually flip over to one of ours dashboards. At least I say I am. Let me pull that up real quick. We use a tool called Autotask, which is our tool for tracking all of our data about our customers and everything. And so here you'll see real quick, I've got a number of different widgets in this particular case on our dashboard. I have first response meant, expiring contracts, open tickets, open ticket summary. And this is the data that I look at each morning and throughout the day, and helps me manage NSN and what our team members are doing. So you can see a couple different ones. We look at opportunities, our average survey score. Let's talk about the average survey score. What do we do? Because one of the most critical things when you start talking inside your business about metrics and KPIs and dashboards is only spend time on data that you're going to action on, right? Having nice widgets and charts is super cool, looks neat, but it does take your team a good amount of resources to develop those and get those. But if you're not going to do anything with them, I don't recommend you just you create them. So let's talk about how we use some of these. The average survey score for us, we rate, our customers can rate us from a 0 to a 5. And anytime I see a survey come in that is under a 5, I action on it. And what that means to me is I will review the score. What was it? Was it our timeliness? Did we not do a good job? Was the person not personable? And then I read their comments. Well, instead of going through every single survey, I have this KPI that looks at that. And you can see I have a 4.97. We got someone that put in a 4 the other day on timeliness on one of our support tickets. I read their comments. And in this case, it was actually quite unique. We were closed last Thursday for Epiphany. And that person rated us 5 on everything else. They rated us a 4 on timeliness because, well, our offices were closed. And completely understandable, but it gives me information to action on and to realize, okay, great, what do I need to do? And I can reach back out to that customer, talk to them about why their experience wasn't what they expected. In that case, they put in that ticket and on a day we were closed and we couldn't action on it that day. So what that told me was not that our team did a bad job on responses that day because we weren't here, was we didn't do a good job of communicating to our customers that we weren't open. So that's an action item for me to take back to our team and communications team and look at and go, how do we make sure that every single one of the team members that we support across the entire NSN ecospace understands what days were open and what days were closed. And we didn't do a good job in that case. It was a minor, ding for us, but it still matters. And therefore it makes it actionable. And so that's what's critical about when you're building KPIs and dashboards is really, can you make them actionable for yourself? I've got another one here. It says open ticket summary. I'm going to make it a little larger for you. Open ticket summary. It tells me how many tickets we have open, whether there's new or currently opens 53. We have 7 new ones. And for us, new means we haven't touched it yet. So as soon as this video is over, I'm going to go find out why do we have 7 that aren't open, that haven't been touched yet. Because typically we try to keep that pretty low. But again, actionable information. I don't want to just have data on a dashboard that I don't actually use, right? Open tickets priority. Most of our tickets come in as medium. We have one that's looking high. I actually have already looked at that one and know what that ticket is about. Again, actionable information. We've got another one, expiring contract. So I think you kind of get the idea behind this. So dashboards are a really, really critical part of our business. They can be critical parts of your business as well. It's just taking the time to figure out what that is. And there's lots of ways you can get information, the data to get these, whether it's you pull stuff out of whatever software you're using in Excel. If you're using QuickBooks, there's a way to get data from there. There's lots of different ways to get there. And it's one of the things that we do at NSN is we can actually help you build these and figure out where to get your data from. And so if you have questions about KPIs or dashboards or how to develop those, be sure and give us a call. Again, my number is 918-770-7400. Love to talk to you about what KPIs and dashboards can do for your business, specific to your business. There's a lot of great tools out there Microsoft has. There's Microsoft Power BI. There's desktop, Excel even, which most businesses use. Has fantastic ways to build pivot charts, pivot data. I mean, there's tons of different ways to build these dashboards and reports. But what you'll hear when you talk to me about them is you'll say, I want to know X. And I'm going to ask you, what are you going to do if X does not meet what your expectations are? And he says, I just want to know. Okay, great. You're the customer. You can decide that. But what I really want to push people to is when you're developing KPIs, make sure that you pick data that you're going to action on. So usually what I recommend is you're going to write, here's what your KPI is. Here's your key performance indicator. Here's where that data comes from. And then I want you to write out an action list. What exactly are you going to do if it doesn't meet your criteria, a performance metric for success, whatever you want to call those? What are you going to do? How are you going to manage that, change something in your business, evaluate that, talk to someone about that, and help you figure out what those are. So I hope you found this useful. Sorry for the delay this morning and a little bit of the weirdness. We're going to be trying to figure out the right tools because the rest of this week, I'll be doing some other demos of different technologies as we continue our theme on the promise of technology this week. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.